Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
As an 11-year-old girl fights for her life, could a string of car dealership break-ins be possibly linked to her shooting and other recent violent crimes? The girl was inside her home sleeping when it happened, and tonight 4 arrests have been made. Thanks for being here with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. Tonight we are learning the investigation has taken a turn focusing on a car theft ring. Let's get Jacqueline Francis live with what we know. Jacqueline.
Devin and Kimberly, Detroit police held a press conference today drawing a connection between a rash of car thefts targeting dealerships and that drive-by shooting this morning that has an 11-year-old girl fighting for her life.
Last week, we first told you of a car theft ring targeting Metro Detroit dealerships, even showing you this surveillance video where you can see people breaking into a dealership, grabbing the keys, and busting out of there. Now, police are saying there is a link between the ring of dealership thefts and violent crime, including an 11-year-old girl shot in a drive-by shooting Tuesday morning. She was asleep in her home near Gratiot and I-94.
The vehicle used in this was a stolen car taken off one of our dealerships, and now we're here today.
Detroit police working backwards to connect at least one suspect in this shooting to the stolen dealership cars.
Unfortunately, we have a rash of stolen cars going on, businesses, dealerships being broken into, vehicles taken, and unfortunately it looks like that has progressed from just stolen crimes into violent crime.
Police believe the suspects are also connected to a deadly shooting of a 17-year-old boy found dead in his car last week at Mack and Belfour on the city's east side. In the investigation into the shooting of the 11-year-old girl, Chief White says 4 people are in custody and they're looking for one more.
When you are shooting 11-year-old little girls in their home where they should have some degree of safety, that's a problem not only for the police department, that's a problem for our community.
Police say the motive in the drive-by shooting appears to be a dispute between 2 groups. The 11-year-old girl remains in critical condition. Reporting live at Detroit Police Headquarters, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Yeah, all right, Jacqueline.
Also tonight, Detroit police providing an update on the urgent search for a missing 13-year-old girl. Naziah Harris was last seen in the area of Cornwall and 3 Mile. That's near East Warren and Outer Drive. Police say she was leaving Joseph E. Clark Preparatory Academy on January 9th. She made it off the bus near her grandmother's house, but never made it home. Officers continued the search over the weekend. Chief White says the goal is to bring Naziah home.
We're doing everything we possibly can. We need the community's help. Anybody that has seen her, her friends, anybody that's keeping any secrets. As the hours turn to days, things get a little bit more concerning for us as to whether or not she's going to be found in the way that we want her found. So we need something. We need a break in this case.
If you have any information, call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. New at 11, police need your help finding a hit-and-run driver they say dined and dashed from a Kego Harbor restaurant.
This happened last Friday at El Camino on Orchard Lake Road in Kego Harbor. Police say a man and woman had an argument over service and then left without paying. Well, take a look at these surveillance pictures from outside the restaurant. Police say the pair got into a dark-colored Mercedes and began to take off. A server ran out from the restaurant and got in front of the car.
Investigators say the driver backed up and tried to drive around her when the server got in front of the car again. That's when the server was hit and had her legs run over. Police say the driver was last seen going south on Orchard Lake. The car, you see it there, it's described as a 2005 to 2009 Mercedes C-Class with a partial license plate of DY 9003. We're told the server suffered minor injuries.
As early voting continues across the state, we'll want to do a check on the numbers, see how it's working, as this is kind of a startup operation. Mara McDonald live at the Detroit Elections Bureau tonight. We've got some updated numbers from the Secretary of State tonight, Mara.
Devin, we sure do. So far in day 3 of early voting, about 18,000 people across the entire state have gone in and, participated. But really, that's just a portion of the numbers here. Let me show you. Voters approved Prop 2 back in 2022, which said Early voting is a go here in Michigan. If you're registered to vote and you want to vote in person, but Election Day is not a possibility for you, you now have 9 days prior to the election to vote.
Just got a lot on my plate today. A lot on my plate, so I just figured get this out early.
Whether it's a primary like we have coming up next week or a general election, Michigan started in-person early voting this past Saturday.
Most Michigan voters are not familiar with it, but we want to make sure that we kind of close the gap and make sure that every voter in Michigan knows that early voting is here and that it's a viable option.
Segrist has been running the numbers in Canton. So far, all of 287 people have cast their early vote at either the 2 early voting precincts the township has set up. Turnout for primaries is typically very light.
I had some pretty muted expectations for this election, so we're right around where I anticipated we would be.
So far, no hiccups, but voting absentee is still by far the bigger draw. The Secretary of State says tonight, so far, 765,000 absentee ballots have been returned of the 1.3 million that have been requested. Back here live, just a heads up, if you're interested in early in-person voting, you have until February 25th. And remember, the primary is on the 27th. We're live in the News Center tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Coming up quickly. All right, Mara. An update now to a story we brought you last night at 11. A woman is recovering after being shot outside Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Troy. Police tell us a 4-year-old child was inside the car that was targeted by the shooter. The victim was shot a number of times in the leg and hip, recovering in the hospital. Luckily, the child was not hurt. Now, here's the SUV that police have been trying to track down. Police were able to track this Dodge Durango into Hazel Park, but then later lost it as it crossed into Detroit. So if you saw anything that might help in the investigation, call Troy Police.
The state's Department of Natural Resources is asking for a proposal on what to do with the Belle Isle Boathouse. The building was deemed structurally unsound due to years of deterioration. It needs $54 million worth of renovations. The DNR is accepting letter of intent for potential renovations. The deadline to submit letters is March 29th.
As we move into the heart of the election year, there are still boundaries to be decided in a number of Southeast Michigan districts. And tomorrow and Thursday, public hearings are going to be held by the Redistricting Commission. The commissioners would especially like to hear from those in the districts that are in question. Tomorrow's hearing set for Greater Grace Temple on West 7 Mile, 3 sessions as you see through the day. And then Thursday, it will be at 2nd Ebenezer on Dequinder. Again, 3 sessions. You will need to sign up to comment when you arrive.
Last night, we showed you the mysterious date illuminated on Michigan Central Station.
Well, tonight we know Michigan Central Station is going to reopen June 6th. It's been closed for more than 30 years. In 2018, Ford bought the depot to make it its technology hub, and now it's confirmed. There's the date, June 6th. The station will be back open for business. The grand opening details are still being worked out, but of course, as we learn more, you will too.
Gorgeous. Yeah. All right, let's see what's happening with our forecast as we take a live look over our beautiful city. It's been a great day today if you like those milder temperatures.
See if we can keep this going with Kim Adams. Kim?
Well, it's kind of a trade-off. It's a little warmer tomorrow, but we're going to lose a lot of our sunshine. 35 right now at City Airport, 31 Mount Clemens. We have a blanket of clouds over top of us, so we're not expecting to drop much further than where we are now, only a few more degrees by tomorrow morning. And it's warmer than it was last night by 8 degrees in Flint, 9 degrees warmer in Lansing, and 5 degrees warmer downtown Metro and in Grosse Ile. So definitely trending upwards. Tomorrow we've got a chilly morning. I mean, this time of year, it's always chilly in the morning, 32 degrees. Keep in mind, as you look at that 32, our average high now is 38. So we're almost there in the morning hours. The afternoon, we go all the way into the low 50s. Now, there could be an isolated shower, but it would be isolated and spotty tomorrow. Looks like the heavier rain comes on Thursday. So here's the weather story. We've got 50s for highs the next 2 days. Chance of rain Wednesday, but more likely on Thursday. And then a quick cool down for Saturday. But next week, there's a 60-degree day, and we'll talk about that in the forecast.